Fans of young Sheldon have been eagerly following Georgie and Mandy's relationship, and now that their first marriage is set to bring back George Sr., excitement is through the roof. As we prepare to see Lance Barber reprise his role as the beloved, flawed father of the Cooper family, there's one thing I'd love to see in his return. A meaningful and heartfelt father-son moment between George Sr. and Georgie that finally gives the eldest Cooper son the recognition and validation he has long deserved. The legacy of George Sr. George Sr. has always been a character full of complexities. While The Big Bang Theory painted him as a distant and unfaithful father, young Sheldon has done a fantastic job of fleshing out his character, showing a man who tries his best despite his flaws. He loves his children deeply, even if he sometimes struggles to connect with them in the ways they need. His bond with Sheldon is often one of frustration and quiet understanding, but with Georgie, it has always been more strained. Georgie has often been sidelined, forced to grow up too quickly, and left to figure things out on his own. With the return of George Sr., young Sheldon has a golden opportunity to mend the emotional rift between father and son, even if only in flashbacks or dream sequences. Georgie's growth and responsibility. Georgie Cooper has come a long way since his early days as a troublemaker and class clown. Now a young father, business owner, and devoted partner to Mandy, he has stepped into adulthood with a resilience that is admirable. While his journey has been filled with missteps and hardships, he has proven time and time again that he is willing to take responsibility for his actions. Throughout young Sheldon, Georgie has often been overlooked in favor of his siblings. Sheldon is the genius of the family, and Missy, with her wit and charisma, naturally attracts attention. But Georgie? He's the one who has had to carve his own path, often with little guidance. He took on work to help the family financially, navigated adult responsibilities before he was ready, and faced personal heartbreaks without much emotional support from his parents. If anyone deserves a heartfelt moment of recognition, it's Georgie. The moment that needs to happen. When George Sr. returns, the show has a rare chance to rewrite some of its history, not in a literal sense, but in an emotional and redemptive way. Whether through a flashback, an imagined conversation, or even an old letter rediscovered, I would love to see a moment where George Sr. acknowledges Georgie's struggles and tells him how proud he is. Picture this: Georgie, now overwhelmed with the responsibilities of marriage and fatherhood, finds himself in a quiet moment of self-doubt. Perhaps he's feeling like he's not good enough, like he's doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. And then, through some narrative device, maybe a dream or a found recording, he gets to hear George Sr.'s voice one last time. And in that moment, George Sr. finally tells him, "I see you, son, you've done good." It wouldn't have to be a long scene, nor would it need to be overly dramatic. Just a small, intimate exchange that allows Georgie to feel seen, to feel loved, and to feel like he was never truly alone in his struggles. It would provide emotional closure not only for Georgie, but for the audience as well, who have watched him fight for his place in the world. The importance of this scene. This moment would be crucial for several reasons. First, it would add depth to George Sr.'s character by showing that, despite his flaws, he did care about all of his children, not just Sheldon. Second, it would allow Georgie to have a form of closure that so many young men who lose their fathers at a formative age never get. And third, it would reinforce the central theme of young Sheldon. That family, in all its messy, complicated forms, is the most important thing. The Big Bang Theory left fans with a negative image of George Sr., but young Sheldon has worked hard to redeem him. This scene would be the final piece of that puzzle. It would show that even though George Sr. wasn't always perfect, his love for his family was real. How it could play out. There are many ways the show could bring back George Sr. for this moment. A flashback would be the most straightforward method, perhaps showing an unseen moment between father and son before George Sr.'s passing. Alternatively, a dream sequence could work beautifully. Maybe Georgie, stressed about his wedding, has a dream where his father gives him the encouragement he never got in real life. Another creative option would be a letter or recording. Maybe, in cleaning out old belongings, Georgie stumbles upon something his father left behind. A letter meant to be read when he was older, or an old tape where George Sr. speaks about his hopes for his son's future. This would allow for an organic and deeply emotional moment without feeling forced. What it would mean for Georgie's future. This moment wouldn't just be a nice callback, it would have a profound impact on Georgie's character moving forward. Knowing that his father was proud of him, even in some small way, could help Georgie move forward with renewed confidence as he navigates his new life as a husband and father. It could give him the peace he never had when George Sr. passed away and allow him to break any cycles of emotional neglect within his own family. Moreover, it would be a great way to bridge the past and the present of young Sheldon, showing how even after all these years George Sr.'s presence still looms large in his children's lives. The emotional payoff. Fans have followed Georgie's journey for years, rooting for him as he grows into the man he was always meant to be. Seeing him finally receive recognition from his father, even posthumously, would be an incredibly satisfying moment for longtime viewers. It would serve as a touching reminder that, even when people are gone, their love and impact never truly fade. In the end, young Sheldon has a unique opportunity here, one that could bring tears, closure, and a deeper understanding of the Cooper family dynamic. Bringing back George Sr. is already an exciting prospect, but if the show gives us this one heartfelt moment between him and Georgie, it could be one of the most powerful scenes in the series. And honestly, Georgie deserves it.